I want to hear more about the 3 C's, and I think one of your C's from memory might connect into this next question, which is about the importance of the event creating the difference, really a tangible difference. So let's maybe jump into that, because I think it might link back to your 3 C's, which we can keep unpacking. I love Liliana's 3 C's. Everyone needs to write them down and put it on a post-it note. They're really great for not just events, it's for really a good application for everything. So how do you define the difference your charity event is making or will make, and how important is it to have a clear, tangible difference that you are making?
Yeah. Quite often that is a question that I ask the client, and they will verbally, becomes a bit of, it's like your 30-minute pitch. You'll start telling me, oh, this is what we do. Our vision is to cure. Our vision is to care. Or we help the homeless people get off the streets. We create, for vision impaired people, we do ABC. And I'm like, yeah, that's your tagline. But what is the actual difference? What are you doing to people's lives to change them? And that is from all aspects, from the user. For a charity, like Guide Dogs, incredible. They change people and empower people by giving them somehow their vision, if they're vision impaired, by, a Guide Dog is a huge investment for the organisation, but that is one thing they do to all the other products that they help service. So what is the difference you make as an organisation to people's lives that are the user or the person you support, as well as the general public? And a lot of people forget about that, because the impact that you make as an organisation to the public, other people don't do that. So what is it that you're doing? What's the difference? And believe it or not, I do these workshops with corporates, and I've run a few this year for financial institutions. When I put the words, the 3 C's, so clarity, charity, and then commercial, they look at me and they're like, we're a corporate. And I'm like, charity is what's the difference you make in people's lives. So what is it as a financial institution that you do that makes people want to come to you? And there was one organisation that talks about liberating people's lifestyle. And I'm like, well, that's what you do to people's lives. You liberate people's lifestyle by educating them, by teaching them how to budget, helping them with their finances. Then how do you translate into A, B, C, if it's an event, if it's a tactic, if it's a campaign? So for you guys, I'm presuming, a lot of you are from the not-for-profit world, it's understanding that difference you make. And sometimes by defining it, you'll understand who's your target audience as well. So if you find you need to get more to the corporates, or you need to build a power pack of people that you want as your ambassadors, or these days advocates, which is a bigger difference than ambassadors, what does that look like? So does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Have you got anything here on the beautiful table that shows where you've had an organisation that's been able to clearly define, the difference that they're making and conveying that through one of their events?
Look, I think at the moment I've got a lot of, this is a great report. So we did WaterAid for a number of years, and I loved WaterAid because WaterAid, the actual gala dinners were organised by all the Melbourne water companies.
Great.
Who put their employees in charge and had a power group who organised the galas, and the money, because they were in the water industry, went to WaterAid. What that then did was they built all these ambassadors around Australia. Wow. They do these events through each state. And it was great for us to understand, because then we could teach them and say, okay, where do you want the money to go? And what does the water community, think, and what do they really want to know, especially the corporates in that market? So it was great over the years to see how that translated. And then some of those people that were ambassadors went to the projects where the money was going. So the following year, we spoke about it.
Right.
An interesting point on that, some of the fundraising elements that we did for this event were really targeted to the corporates in the room. So one of the biggest hiring sellers was a dinner with the MDs from all the water companies.
Oh, wow.
Because people want to talk to that, instead of just
that's a great idea,
buying a piece of memorabilia or a footy box or to the rugby. So this is a really, really good event, and I saw that translate. And then, the other one I probably had a great impact was working with the fabulous Jerry Lewis. Hopefully most of you would remember who this amazing man was. I grew up watching him on a Sunday. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did some great events to raise money for muscular dystrophy, and looking at how we could work with Jerry when he came to Australia to get the muscular dystrophy message. And then the money went to not only some causes, but they invested in terms of some of the support work.
Oh, great.
And over the couple of years, we saw that impact the organisation.
Yeah.
So I think it was an interesting conversation, because having such a power like Jerry, his expectations versus the charity also had to be met, and made sure we maintained the integrity of the brand.
Yes.
So yeah, there was an interesting, and then that's just a couple of things. And
I didn't realise with the WaterAid Ball, I didn't realise that it was actually all the water companies coming together like that. And that is just such a beautiful way to sort of re-engineer our thinking, and especially you, if you're listening today or you're watching this back on YouTube, it's how do you kind of think more laterally and creatively about who might have a like interest in the difference that you're trying to create, that can actually help you really pull together an amazing activation, but also grow it. So,
and that's when you understand the difference that you make, you can also articulate what's your target audience and how do you work on that target audience. And there's a great example. We just did about a month ago or two, an event for the farmers charity lunch. Obviously there's a big push at the moment for some of our farmers that are doing it tough, especially far north Queensland. A massive developer here in Melbourne fell in love with a story and fell in love with a couple that he saw on Channel 9 and Today Show, and he automatically said, what am I going to do? I can't just be here and not do anything. Anyway, in 4 weeks we organised the lunch, all targeted purely for the property and development group, and a lot of work. In that short time, it was supposed to be 50 people, became 210 people. All these amazing people came on board. We flew down the farmers from Queensland, talk about tangible. Anyway, we raised $125,000.
Brilliant. Just
so
from one person.
One person, but it was his audience, and he knew how to market to that audience. So I guess there's power in that message, because quite often, and I talk generally here, and a lot of not-for-profits and charities go, we'll just get anyone in the room. And but if you don't have that strategic approach and saying, who do we get in the room, you're not going to get the right outcome. And a lot of the times it's around money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a really good idea. We get a lot of we had a lot of different people coming to Ask X Factor Live. We've got social enterprises, charities, we've got businesses that have just got a really, strong purpose focus with their business, or just really traditional corporates are listening in as well and picking up tips. And I think that's one of the things as well, is that if you are a business and you're looking to activate something as a business owner, that you can come to this and actually have a conversation around the cause, the difference, and all of this as well. And think more, think a bit more creatively around what that might do, or what that might get started for your business as well. Like that might then take that in, and, their team, and how much, goodwill and team building that creates by having something really positive and strong in their business.
Sometimes it's hard when you're working in something, all you see, I call it, you've got the blinkers on, you just see what you're doing, you don't see anything else. Whereas we've got a helicopter view. So quite often I say, I'm the helicopter, I can give you a bit of a bigger perspective, because you're thinking this and all you can see is that. But in actual fact, do you want to do that? Is that you're right? Because you can learn, or don't do this. This is what's working here. So it's just,
absolutely. That's it.